My former colleague, NFL Network analyst and former NFL GM Charley Casserly had those critical comments last week about Kyler Murray at the scouting combine. But Casserly is pulling a full 180 on the Heisman Trophy winner with these latest comments, telling NFL Network this. Listen to these. Arm strength, he can make all the throws. Vision, it's hard to read vision in this offense, but you do see him sit there and have poise in the pocket and be able to see the field. And in running ability, Guy is an excellent runner with the football. I think he's got Russell Wilson arm strength and Russell Wilson running ability. I think this guy has a lot of potential in the world to be a successful quarterback in the National Football League. And Mahomes, let's bring up Mahomes for a second. Compare him and Mahomes on the college tape. I put this guy ahead of Mahomes. 180 might be an understatement, Stephen A. What do you make of Charley Casserly's change of opinion?
Some executives at the NFL Network had a conversation with him. That's what I'm going to peel from it. I damn sure don't believe you can make that kind of reversal just on your own. Certainly you have been profoundly influenced. I leave it at that. That's what I suspect. I really don't know, but that's what I suspect. What I will say is this. Charley Casserly took a lot of hits, and he deserved to take those hits. But I hope that he understands why. It wasn't what he said. It was that he spoke so emphatically and so definitively about it as if it was a point in fact and that it was something that he could provide an eyewitness account to when the facts didn't add up to it at all. Had Charley Casserly said at the time that he made those comments about Kyler Murray, there is nothing in his college, on his college resume that is indicative of what I'm hearing. But this is what has been said from folks at the NFL scouting combine. Max, what could we have said? Not a damn word. Because it makes sense. Okay, this is what you're hearing. Yeah. This is the point. I'm hearing this. We have to do that all the time. Totally understandable. That's all he had to do. But he didn't do that. He spoke about it in finite and definitive terms when he had no facts to back it up as far as I'm concerned. And then on top of it all, he didn't give any level of attribution whatsoever. When the coaches at Oklahoma, the head coach, the position, when the head coach comes on the record, he's talked to none of us here. He speaks to us. He didn't ask us, what do you mean leadership? What do you mean he doesn't watch tape? What are you talking about? That's not true. You understand? And you spoke to no one from the program, and they come out and emphatically deny that you've communicated with any of them. And you didn't go out of your way to emphasize that these weren't your words. This is what you were being told. But then to be so adamant in that was a character assault on Kyler Murray. You can't do that.
I don't see this as a 180.
Really?
No. And Stephen A., I'm surprised that you do because you and I have a lot of experience. If you ask a narrow question and get a specific response and then ask a different question about the same topic, you may have a different response, and it sounds like they're at odds with each other. Now, I do agree, before you pass along information, even as a reporter, especially as a reporter, about what you're hearing, that you damage a man's reputation, you should consider carefully whether the source has motivation to not tell the truth, whether you're hearing it from multiple sources that you consider reliable, and all those things. And if Casserly did that and then passed along the information about Kyler Murray, okay. But I think you have to be very careful about that. This is a different subject. He's not here reporting, this is what I'm hearing from people at the combine or from teams. He's saying, my eyeballs are on this guy. Let me now evaluate his football talent. He can make all the throws. He can do these things. This is where his talent is. The other thing he reported had to do with what he was hearing from teams.
He didn't tell us that.
Yes, he did. He was saying, I'm hearing the worst stuff I'm hearing about leadership and study habits and these kind of things from teams. That's information he's reporting and passing along. And I agree, he has to be very careful, particularly, by the way, with African-American quarterbacks, given the stereotypes, the pernicious stereotypes that have been perpetuated unfairly through the years. So be careful with that, yes. But here, they're asking him to evaluate Kyler Murray on his own. Put eyes on him. What do you see? And he's telling you what he sees. I don't see that as a 180. I see him answering a different question here.
I respectfully disagree. And the reason why I respectfully disagree is because, yes, he was at the scouting combine, and yes, he had spoken to people. when you heard Charley Casserly on tape talking about that guy, he didn't emphasize this is what the people are saying, this is what I'm getting out of this. He talked to you about what he himself was portraying about this guy. He didn't bring up his college resume. He didn't talk about all the things. That's why Lincoln Riley came out and stated he's wrong. They didn't listen. If think about it, why would Lincoln Riley, the coach of Oklahoma, come out and say he's wrong? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why would he sit up there and say he's wrong? You okay? Because if that's what you're being told, you can sit up there and say, hey, listen, this is what they're saying. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. They were talking about Charley Casserly. Charley Casserly became the story because of how, and it's a nuance, please don't get me wrong, but it's how he conveyed that information. That was more about him than the folks in the scouting company.
When they put him in the same sentence as Patrick Mahomes, who's going to take the torch from Brady, how do you not think that's a 180?
I will explain it. It seems that way to people because he's answering a different question.
Sure.
Casserly, quote, the worst report I've ever heard on a top-ranked quarterback from the interview part of it. He is reporting what he's hearing from teams who may be lying to him to depress Murray's trade value, but that's why you have to be careful with that stuff still. These were the worst comments I ever got on a top-rated quarterback, and I've been doing this a long time. Leadership, not good. Study habits, not good. The board work below, not good. Not good in any of those areas, raising major concerns about what this guy is going to do. So in other words, he's saying, from the interview process, I'm reporting what I'm hearing. That's the answer to one question. This is the answer to the question, look at him, what do you see?
But I'm saying to you, Max, as a guy that covers the sport, particularly as intricately as he does, you had an obligation to expand further, not stop there. He stopped there as if that portion of it should be taken as gospel when it didn't align with the facts from this man's collegiate career.